whenever a person is approached that we want you to appoint as an arbitrator, then he shall disclose. See, he has to disclose in writing all the circumstances, whether they are present or past relationship with the parties or relating to the subject matter in disputes. And these relationships may be any of any kind, whether the financial, business, professional, or any kind, which may give rise to justifiable doubts as to his independence or impartiality. So he has to disclose all those relationships which may affect his independence. Like in case of interested directors, they cannot participate in any discussions in which they are interested. Similar way, an arbitrator cannot be interested in any way in the subject matter which he is going to arbitrate. Second most important thing is he has to give in writing whether there are any circumstances which will affect his liability to devote sufficient time for the arbitration, and in particularly his ability to complete the entire arbitration within a period of 12 months. So what is this? That because this arbitration shall be completed within a period of 12 months. So if you are occupied with so many cases, you won't be able to devote time to a new case. That's why they are saying, give us a specific disclosure whether you will be able to complete it in 12 months or not. If an order is passed by the court for interim measures of protection under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, then the arbitral, see, court has given the interim measures. Arbitral proceedings shall be commenced. It is not that the interim measures are being given by the court and you are not starting the arbitral proceeding. It is necessary for the party to start the arbitral proceedings within 90 days from the date of the order or the further time as may be given by the court. Rules of procedure, what will be the rule you will follow while conducting this arbitration proceedings? The arbitral tribunal shall not be bound by the Code of Civil Procedure or the Indian Evidence Act. Parties are free to agree on the procedure to be followed by the arbitral tribunal in conducting the proceedings, but it shall be subject to the provisions of the part of this particular part of the Arbitration Act. Now there are some things. Earlier we were saying that if the parties are not able to decide upon the appointment, then the act prescribes how the arbitrator will be appointed. But there are some things which will be decided by the arbitral tribunal if the same is not agreed upon by the parties. See, if the parties are free to agree, whatever place they choose, on that the arbitration will be conducted. Failing any agreement, place of arbitration now will be determined by the arbitral tribunal, having regard to the circumstances of the case, including the convenience of the parties. From when the arbitral proceedings shall commence, again the same thing, unless otherwise agreed by the parties, the arbitral proceedings with respect to a particular dispute shall commence on the date on which a request for that dispute to be referred to arbitration is received by the respondent. Say they are saying is received by the respondent. So if they are converting it either in the form of a case study that the arbitration proceeding will commence on this particular date, you have to look for on which date this request for appointment of the arbiter proceedings, conducting of the arbitral proceeding is received by the respondent. That should be the date of commencement of arbitral proceedings. What should be the language to be used in the arbitral proceedings? Parties are free to determine, but if they fail, then it's the arbitral tribunal who will determine the language to be used during the arbitral proceedings, because they are going to conduct it. Now, what will happen if one of the parties at fault? Again, unless otherwise agreed by the parties, if without showing sufficient cause, a claimant fails to communicate his statement of claim, he has initiated, and then he himself is not filing a statement of claim, then the arbitral tribunal shall terminate the proceedings. If the respondent fails to communicate his statement of defense, then the arbitral tribunal shall continue the proceeding without treating that failure in itself as an admission of the allegations which are made by the claimant. It will continue the proceeding, and now it is its discretion whether to accept the statement of defense if further filed by the respondent. A parties fail to appear at an oral hearing or to produce the documentary evidence. In that case, the arbitral tribunal may continue the proceedings and make the arbitral award on the evidence before it. Now, what are the rules applicable to what should be the What should be the logic on the basis, what should be the rules which shall be followed while resolving the main dispute? If the place of arbitration is situated in India and it is a domestic arbitration, then the arbitral tribunal shall decide the dispute according to the substantive law for the time being in proceeds, according to the procedural law for the time being in force in India. But in case of international commercial arbitration, parties have to designate which rule is to be followed. But if parties fail to designate the rule of the place, whether to be followed the rule of India or whether to be followed the rule of London or whether to be followed the rule of US and all, if parties fail to designate then the arbitral tribunal shall apply the rule of law it considers to be appropriate given all the circumstances surrounding the dispute. Now, how the decision making will be made by the arbitrators? Again, unless otherwise agreed by the parties, in arbitral proceedings with more than one arbitrator, decision of the arbitral tribunal shall be made by a majority of all of its members. If authorized by the parties or all the members of arbitral tribunal, question of procedure may be decided by the presiding arbitrator. Completion of pleadings. When means completion of pleadings, it means one party will submit the claim and the other party will submit the defense. For which time this should continue? Thus, because decision is to be taken on the basis of those statement of claim and those statement of defense that will be filed. These statement of claims and defense shall be completed within a period of 6 months from the date the arbitrator or arbitrators received notice in writing of their appointment. So first, the commencement date will be of these pleadings will be the date when the arbitrators are receiving the notice in writing of they are being appointed. Then they will give the 6 months to both the parties, to the claimant as well as respondent, that you submit your claim and defense statement within 6 months. Now, time limit for the arbitral awards. The time limit is very important in IBC. The award shall be made within a period of 12 months from the date of completion of pleadings. That is, once you are appointing the arbitrator in writing, they have received their appointment letter. From that date, they will have both the parties will have 6 months to submit their statement of claim and defense. When this statement of claim and defense, when this 6 months is completed, this is called that completion of pleadings. From this completion of pleadings, the award shall be made within a period of 12 months from the date of completion of pleadings. And till now, if it could not be, then with the consent of the parties, further it could be extended by 6 months. But beyond the 6 months, if the extension is required, then it could be only with the permission of the court. The permission of the court, in the sense, it is defined. First, we call it in case of domestic arbitration, it will be through your district court. And in case of international commercial arbitration, it will be through the high court. If further extension is not granted by the court, then the mandate of arbitral tribunal shall terminate on expiry of 18 months. This period of 12 months is mandatory in case of domestic arbitration, but an endeavor shall be made to complete international commercial arbitration in 12 months. Means it is not compulsory. Effort should be made to complete it, but if it is not completed, it can be it can go beyond the 12 months. Fast track procedure. Fast track procedure is a case where it is being decided on a fast track mode. The parties are submitting their claims and defense only on the basis of the written statements, and they will be called for hearing only if the parties desire for the oral hearing or if it is felt necessary by the arbitrators to call and conduct the oral hearings. The award shall be made within a period of 6 months from the date the arbitral tribunal enters upon the reference. That is, from the date the arbitral tribunal receives their appointment letter. If not completed in 6 months, then normal arbitration procedure shall be followed. Make the difference in the original. If we call it in the normal process, we call this 12 months from the date of completion of proceedings. Means you have 6 months, then 12 months, then 6 months further extensions, and then the permission of the court. But in case of fast track procedures, the award will be made only within a period of 6 months from the date the arbitral tribunal is receiving their appointment letter. Notwithstanding anything contained in the Act, parties to an arbitration agreement may at any stage, either before or at the time of appointment of the arbitral tribunal. See, it's not the point after appointment. Either at the time or before, they should agree in writing that their dispute should be resolved by the fast track procedure. The parties to the arbitration agreement, while agreeing for the resolution of dispute by the fast track procedure, may agree that the arbitral tribunal shall consist of a sole arbitrator to be chosen by the parties. See, this is what the MCQ is, that how many arbitrators shall be there in the fast track procedure. It may consist of a sole arbitrator. The arbitral tribunal shall follow the following procedure while conducting the fast track procedure. As I explained earlier also, the dispute will be decided on the basis of written pleadings, documents, and submissions filed by the parties without any oral hearing. If any additional information is required, arbitral tribunal can call for it. An oral hearing may be held only if all the parties make a request or if the arbitral tribunal considers it necessary to have oral hearing for clarifying certain issues. The arbitral tribunal may dispense with any technical formalities if an oral hearing is held. Means 7 days notice is required or written notices to be sent. It may be sent through an email also, and they may adopt the procedure which will be deemed as appropriate for expeditious disposal of the case. The next is settlement. If during the arbitral proceedings parties settle the dispute, then the arbitral tribunal shall terminate the proceedings. And if the parties request and there is no objection by the arbitral tribunal, only then that settlement can be recorded in the form of arbitral award on agreed terms. And this is the only case in which award cannot be challenged in any court because it has been agreed upon by the parties. That's why this cannot be further charged. What should be the content of the arbitral award? It shall be in writing. It shall be signed by the members, signed by the majority of the members if there are more than one arbitrator. And it is necessary that reason for omitting the signature of a particular arbitrator, why a particular arbitrator has not signed on that arbitral award, it must be stated in it. Arbitral award shall be a speaking award, means it shall state the reason on the basis of which the award is being given. Unless and until parties have agreed that there is no need to give any particular reason, or the award is an arbitral award on agreed terms by the settlement. The arbitral award shall state its date and the place of arbitration, and the award shall be deemed to have been made at that place. And the place is important because the law of that particular place shall be deemed to be followed while making the arbitral award. A sum directed to be paid by an arbitral award shall carry interest at the rate of 2% higher than the current rate of interest. See, whatever is the interest rate prevalent on the date of award given by the RBI, 2% higher interest will be given from the date of award to the date of payment unless and otherwise directed. Regime for cost, who will bear the cost? If the court or the arbitral tribunal decides to make an order as to payment of the cost, general rule is unsuccessful party shall be ordered to pay the cost of the successful party. But the court or the tribunal may make a different order, but reasons have to be recorded in writing. Termination of proceedings. Arbitral tribunal proceedings shall be terminated by the final arbitral award. Other cases where it can be terminated is the claimant withdraw his claims unless the respondent objects to the order and the arbitral tribunal recognize a legitimate interest on his part in obtaining a final settlement of the dispute. Means the person who has initiated this arbitration proceedings, now he is withdrawing the claim, but the other party is saying that if he is objecting to terminate the proceedings and the arbitral tribunal recognize, yes, the respondent has a legitimate interest in obtaining the final settlement of the dispute, then it will not be terminated, otherwise it shall be terminated. Arbitration is a game of agreement. If both the parties agree, then it shall be terminated. If the arbitral tribunal finds that continuation of the proceedings for any other reason has become unnecessary or impossible, then it shall terminate the proceeding by an order. If there is some correction required in award, there is some explanation required in interpretation of award, or something has been decided while making the decision, but the same has not been entered while writing in the award. That is called the additional award. Can it be approached? Yes, it can be approached. Once the order is received, within 30 days, subject to an agreement between the parties, a party will give notice to the other and will request the arbitral tribunal that this is the computation error or clerical or typographical error of similar nature occurring in the award. Or if so agreed by the parties, a party with notice to the other party may request the arbitral tribunal to give interpretation of a specific point or part of the award, and within which time it shall be given. Within 30 days from the receipt of the request, the arbitral tribunal shall make the correction or give the interpretation considers the request made to be justified. And such an interpretation or correction shall form the part of the arbitral award. So what is required for the MCQ is this 30 days time limit. This 30 days time limit. The arbitral tribunal may correct the computation, clerical or typographical error. Only computation, clerical or typographical error on its own initiative within 30 days from the date of arbitral award. Means it cannot go ahead for the interpretation of a particular point in the award, but it's on its own suo motu, it can correct the clerical error or the computation or typing error.